Imagine a moment where your digital assistant doesn't just hear you, it gets you. A world where a single command transforms your home, sparks a creative idea, or dives deep into a question you've been pondering. That's not a sci-fi dream anymore. It's the reality Google is crafting right now. They've just dropped a bombshell. Google Assistant, the trusty sidekick we've known since 2016, is being retired. In its place, a shiny new AI called Gemini. This isn't a small tweak. It's a seismic shift in how we'll interact with tech. And trust me, you're going to want to hear why this matters and what's coming next. Picture this. Google Assistant has been the go-to for millions, setting alarms, playing tunes, or telling you if it's going to rain. It's been solid, reliable, like that friend who always shows up on time. But let's be real, sometimes it felt a bit stiff, stuck in a loop of basic tasks. Enter Gemini, Google's bold new vision. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a total reinvention. Powered by cutting-edge large language models, Gemini doesn't just respond, it converses, creates, and connects the dots in ways Google Assistant never could. Think of it like swapping a flip phone for a smartphone. Same idea, wildly different potential. So, why is Google hitting the reset button? It's all about timing. AI tech is exploding. Think of the leaps we've seen in chatbots and creative tools lately. Google's not about to sit back and watch. They're jumping ahead, betting big on Gemini to keep them at the top of the game. But this isn't just corporate flexing. It's personal. Gemini learns from you, adapts to you, and delivers a tailored experience that feels less like a gadget and more like a partner. I've been digging into this shift, and honestly, it's less about replacing something old and more about unlocking what's possible. Google's playing the long game here, and we're all along for the ride. Now let's get into what Gemini actually brings to the table. It's where things get exciting. First off, it's a multitasking wizard. With Google Assistant, you'd say, turn on the lights. Then, set the thermostat. Then lock the doors. A bit of a chore, right? Gemini? You just say, get the house cozy for the night. And boom, it's done. Lights dim, heats up, doors secured. It's like having a mind reader who's also a doer. I've messed around with similar AI setups, and let me tell you, that kind of seamlessness is a game changer when you're juggling a busy day. But here's where it gets wild. Gemini's creative streak. Stuck on a work email? Ask Gemini to draft it, polished and professional. Need a catchy tagline for a project? It'll toss out ideas like a brainstorming buddy. It can even sketch a poem or whip up a playlist vibe if you're feeling artsy. Google Assistant was a helper. Gemini's a collaborator. I've always thought AI should do more than fetch answers. It should inspire. Gemini's stepping up to that challenge, and it's honestly pretty thrilling to imagine where that could take us creatively. Then there's the way it ties into Google's world. Maps, home, workspace. Gemini pulls from them all. Say you're planning a trip, find me a quiet cafe in Hanoi and check the traffic. Gemini doesn't just list spots, it cross-checks real-time data and serves up a gem. Pun intended. That deep integration is something I've wanted from assistants forever. Less app hopping, more answers. It's not perfect yet, sure, but the potential? Massive. The real magic, though, is how Gemini grows with you. It's not static. It listens, learns, and tweaks itself based on how you talk, what you ask, even your quirks. I've seen AI stumble when it can't adapt. Gemini's built to evolve. Over time, it's less one-size-fits-all and more made for me. That's a big leap from Google Assistant's rigid playbook. And it's got me thinking, could this be the first assistant that actually feels personal, not just programmed? So, how's this all rolling out? Google's got a plan. Over the next few months, Gemini will start popping up on your devices, phones, tablets, smart speakers, you name it. By the end of 2025, Google Assistant will officially bow out, fully replaced on most gear. Older stuff, like Android 9 devices or anything with less than 2 gigabytes of RAM, will stick with a legacy assistant version. Fair enough. Not every gadget can handle the new kid. But for the rest of us, Gemini's the future, and it's coming fast. What does this mean for you and me? Day to day, it's a smoother, smarter helper, less fumbling, more flow. But zoom out, and it's bigger than that. This shift isn't just Google swapping tools, it's a signal. AI's not a sidekick anymore, it's stepping into the spotlight. I've been geeking out over tech trends for years, and this feels like a tipping point. Gemini's not the endgame, it's the opening act. If it can talk, create, and adapt this well now, What's next? Smarter homes? Deeper insights? Maybe even AI that predicts what we need before we ask? It's a lot to chew on, and I'm hooked on finding out. Here's the bottom line. Google's ditching Assistant for Gemini because the world's ready for more. More smarts, more spark, more connection. It's not just about keeping up with AI's evolution. It's about leading it. Gemini's a taste of that future. A little bold, a little brilliant, and packed with possibilities. Whether you're a tech nerd like me or just someone who wants life a bit easier, this is one shift worth watching. The way we talk to tech, it's about to get a whole lot more interesting.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.